All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. A lot, and I mean a lot to dive into today's video, but especially drama. I know mostly we talk about roster changes, how teams are performing in the North American and the MEA Pro League, and honestly all things ALGS. But today is honestly all things Apex Esports and the drama that has been behind all of it, because it is all unfolding now. And honestly, this is kind of getting out of hand. It's getting a lot bigger than I had anticipated. And I'm interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. Make sure to like the video if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related. And without further ado, let's go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well, of course. And let's go ahead and dive right into this. So the first thing I wanted to make mention of here, this is some T2 news I wanted to kind of shine some light on. Delroy, this guy has been on the up and up. I've seen a lot of people start to notice this guy, give him a little bit more attention since his recent performance in the realm. And I told you guys a couple days ago that Apex was taking a new directions in the esports scene, and I was totally right. I got to be honest. I mean, it has really heavily been all about the realm as of late. We knew that they were coming, we knew that they were doing stuff, but really it has taken off, and it has really became a lot of people's interest to watch what is going on with this new style of tournament slash pro league slash whatever you want to call it. It's a little bit different. It's like a solo queue league. I really like it, honestly. It's a little, just because it kind of spices it up. It gives us something a little bit different to do, and it's a little bit different of a challenge than what we've normally seen. However, this is where the drama is coming from. It's all in this as well, and we're going to touch on that soon. Also, a little bit of drama. Phase 1 esports. You guys know you've seen them in the past. They're apparently not paying their people again. Common Phase 1. Everybody's saying like these guys have not been paying out prize pools or even like refunds of such. This has happened a couple months ago, and I think it's happening again. Honestly, I personally think 1 strike, you should just be done if you're not paying people, but especially 2 strikes, just get them out of here. We really don't need to be watching those kind of people try to take any kind of credibility from the scene. Big T1 news, unfortunate situation. Graceful is stepping away from competitive. Fallout retweeted saying Graceful, one of the most storied and hardest working IGLs in EMEA's Apex history, will be stepping away from Apex competitive and citing financial struggles, unfortunately, likely given the low support for EU in the major cash content tournaments, ALGS, BR distributed prize pool, and etc. And this is what we've been touching on for quite some time. Sadly, Apex Legends and just Battle Royale in general, whenever you have prize pools like this, they don't seem to be as nice as you would like. Like, you may think, oh, $3 million tournament, this is crazy. But when you think about how many teams are getting paid, it's really not that crazy. Obviously, for the top teams, of course it's crazy. Like, if you can get there and place in the top 3 or 4, it's like, you know, sometimes life-changing money for a lot of these people. But as far as like your smaller tournaments, as far as like your pro league goes, as far as like your you know, I guess your individual tournaments that happen in between the championships and the lands and all of that stuff, it's just not worth it for a lot of these guys. And this is a major time consumer for a lot of these people, man. I mean, Apex is a 8-hour grind a day if you want to stay at the top kind of situation, and you can't just kind of be lacking in any which way at all. So it is interesting to see how a lot of this stuff is falling apart. I think another thing to blame is the EA lack of revenue share here for a lot of the skins and stuff, and maybe organizations being able to pick up some of these players and take it seriously and pay their players. We've seen a lot of these guys just drop out just because it's just unfortunate with how all of this works. And Graceful also citing that he wants to be a better husband for his wife, who's been nothing but supportive of him over the years, and during all the long days, crazy hours, you know, unfortunately it's just time, I guess, to move on. And also wanted to mention, with all of the bad situations that we have with, you know, the ALGS in general, and, you know, the lack of money here, and a lot of people having to move on and go to other things, Apex, as far as a content style of game and casual player-based game, has been looking pretty decent. And I gotta be honest, I'm not too mad about it. But obviously we know that the, you know, competitive side could maybe use a little bit of love. And I think it's kind of sad that like the love that we're getting is coming from another organization like Realm, who's putting a lot of money into the scene. I just wish like Apex shouldn't be relying on these other companies to do this, man. I mean, Apex needs to step it up, and I think really start taking care of their esports scene a little bit more. We'll see if they make any big changes in, you know, this year. I think they probably have some big ones cooking up, and they've even kind of cited and hinted towards some of that. We'll see how it goes. But Nickmercs also went on a massive rant yesterday about the state of Apex in general, and how a lot of people, and gaming in general, honestly, a lot of people are quitting this Call of Duty to come to Apex, and other games to come to Apex, and there's a big issue with Apex right now. Nickmercs got so mad that he literally ended his stream early to say this to Respawn. Roll the clip.
I'm down to play anything but this. I'll play fucking Uno, just not this shit, man. Sorry.
Hey, all good.
You guys have fun, man, gang. I'm not doing it, chat. I'm not doing it again tonight. They're not gonna freeze the lobby, aimbot me the whole fucking night. I'm gonna end the stream by saying this, okay? We have a very big problem in Apex, and I really do hope that the devs take this shit seriously, man. This is not a fucking joke right now. Like, Call of Duty's down bad. Nobody wants to play that shit right now. You got a lot of people coming over to play Apex to try all the new stuff, the exciting stuff that is Apex. Now is not the time for an influx of fucking cheaters and DDoSers. It's not the time. I mean, it's got me literally, I'm getting off early. I would play tonight. I would play with both of them, but I'm not going to sit here and have my lobby crash. I'm not going to sit here and get cheated on. There's no way. If Apex is smart, they'll take it for real, man. And they'll hire some real people that can fucking, like, get this shit done, man. I don't know.
So definitely sucks to see, but I know obviously a lot of this frustration is rightfully, deserved in a lot of these cases. So I'm not saying I disagree with Nick in any sense of the matter. I just think that it really sucks to have all of these bad things going down at once, especially for the competitive integrity of the game. And also a lot of this stuff coming from ranked, like a lot of stream snipers in ranked, a lot of hackers in ranked. And it just kind of sucks to see. And also on top of that, the rank system really sucks right now. And hopefully we'll see some rank changes very soon, especially with season 17 coming up. We'll see if they decide to make any changes. Here is the big drama. So I've been talking about the realm.gg, right? Realm is this new organization that's been putting a lot of money into the Apex scene. I think they've even contributed $1 million, in 2023. I think that they have, basically put out there that what they're planning on doing. So I'm really excited about this. But like I said, it's kind of weird that, we're having to rely on another organization that has a lot of money to come in here and do this and take care of us with all these little fun events, and not Apex like taking care of their game and wanting to make it better and put all these other things in there and all these other ideas. It's just kind of weird. Anyways, the drama was coming from the requirements of what it took to get in. A lot of people were getting in that maybe shouldn't have been there, and maybe they did so by way of vouch, by way of, master's rank, and they shouldn't have really been, they maybe should have been pred, or maybe pred wasn't even enough. Maybe they should have a little bit more accolade, but because they were popular, because they got some vouches, whatever the case may be, they were able to get into the scene. And there's been a lot of drama of players basically saying, look, these guys suck. Some of them are so bad they're not even showing up to their games. We can't be letting these people get in here and rob everybody else of their fair share of a stab at this, right? And so that's where the drama came in. And then it became about, inclusivity, and then also competitive integrity. And this is where we had a very long conversation between Hundreds and also Jazz as well. But this was a very cordial conversation. I like that these guys were able to actually just be very, nice to each other and kind of understanding of each other, basically going back and forth saying, yes, I agree. There should be some inclusivity. I think that obviously there's a time and place for that, though. We're talking about high level play. We just want the best of the best. No one's really trying to nitpick, gender, race, whatever it may be. We just want seriously the best players possible. And then Jazz also saying, like, I didn't want to get in because I'm black or a woman. I wanted to get in because I did the same process 99 other master players did and got a vouch. And that's fair, obviously, as well. And then Reezy comes to basically, combat the idea that Hundreds basically saying, I wouldn't want to be picked just because of my ethnicity as well. Or especially if I was underrepresented, I would understand that as well. But obviously, there's a time and place for that. This is all about high level play. We're not talking about fun events and fun tournaments to have. We're talking about serious play and sweating your balls off, really, to get some money. And that's the problem that it seemed to arose, right? Realm came out and had to kind of address this stuff and even talk about some of their cuts that they're going to do. So Realm is not a platform to earn another follower. The Realm is a war, a place to increase your skill against the best. Only the strong survive. Are you one of them? Well, you'll find out tomorrow morning. And they go on and basically, I think they've even kind of like publicly said that they regret doing the whole vouch thing because maybe some people slipped in. And their intention was basically show like, hey, we've never meant for anyone to feel like they're left out or like they're not welcome here. But the fact of the matter is we only are trying to get right, the best people possible, or like the things that really match the criteria. And we're not trying to pick favorites. We're not trying to do any of that. And it got so bad that this Reezy person posted like the lack of support for black and POC women in Apex is very telling. Not a single black woman has been accepted in Realm yet. In fact, one majorly cracked an accomplished black woman, got rejected, unfortunately. And so you would read this and you're like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. What in the world is going on? Like, why are they doing this? And then Peach also had to came out as someone who supports this stuff, but had to basically bring a middle ground. Like, look, stop doing this foolish crap. You literally make a mockery out of the real issues that these people go through and trying to fix by acting so entitled. And you think someone who isn't a pro level got denied entrance to a semi-pro/pro game solely because they're black plus a woman. It's just simply not the case. And there's a lot of arguments going on back and forth here. Like, what exactly is the truth? And there's a lot of people who agree. A lot of people seem to disagree. But the most probably like outcome is most people agree that, look, we all agree that like you should have these moments and inclusivity and like, you know, some programs to bring some more awareness about these things. But in a semi-pro/pro tournament, no one's looking at that specifically. They're all obviously looking at skill. And I think the complaint there was some people got through based upon other criteria other than being good, maybe because of a voucher, maybe because of, you know, whatever the case may be. And I think that there is a community out there, thankfully, that's trying to reach a middle ground. No one's trying to be like, you know, most of the time it seems like nobody's really trying to be over the top, you know, oh, screw you, I'm going to cancel you, or oh, screw you, you're too woke, or whatever it may be. Like, at the end of the day, we just got to have discernment, right? Like, we all know that there should be times for this, there should be times for that, and there's got to be middle grounds at some point in life as well. So I don't really know, like, necessarily one way or the other. I can't really speak on it. I'm not a part of any of these communities, you know, myself, so I don't really know how these people feel. I'm just kind of observing what I'm seeing over here on Twitter, and a lot of different opinions out there. So I'm interested to see what you guys have to say as well. Unfortunately, right after this, Hundreds of my boy unfortunately has decided to retire from Apex. Now, he is basically just saying, you know, retiring as a player, because he does still play a lot, but I think he is still coaching, thankfully. So this may be one of the hardest posts I've ever had to make. I started in Apex. Realm was something I wanted as far back as season 4. I distinctly remember sitting at Gold Rush on Kings Canyon talking about how rank should be solo queue and it would create the best talent pool for competitive. Realm has successfully done that, but after a few days of playing, I just can't seem to make things click. Some good games, mostly bad games, and just inability to call and navigate and lead my team. I've become complacent after 8 seasons straight of strictly solo queue rank, but nonetheless, it was the rude awakening that I needed. I've been stuck in limbo playing comp when I can fill in for my team, get exciting to sub, but why? I don't know. I just living in the past of the old version of myself where I maybe was committed to comp Apex back in season 2 instead of focusing on streaming. I love competitive games, but every time I want to be committed, my age just lingered over my shoulder and, you know, told me you're just delusional for even trying to consider it. So he said, basically, you know, skip a couple paragraphs. I've decided to step away from playing Apex. This was a tough decision because I've met incredible people throughout this journey and I've enjoyed so many moments within this community. And even as I'm writing this post, it scares me because I'm not even sure if this is the right call. I believe in Spire Academy and the program we created. I will continue to coach as it is my full-time job, but until further notice, I will no longer be pursuing Apex related goals or content. Thank you for the amazing memories, man. I hate to see this. I love Hundreds, man. What a great guy. It sucks to see that he's going to be moving on from this community, sadly. At some point in time, I mean, it sounds like he's obviously coaching his team still, but it also sounds like he's planning on maybe making the exit and moving on from this stuff as well. Lastly, as we wrap the video up, wanted to make mention of this. Rambo kind of put out there a lot of one-trick ponies in the Apex Pro League or in the Apex Pro scene in general. And this is where the conversation came up, is like, you know, is this why TSM is struggling? I don't really know. Rambo basically said, I think it's one of the most valuable trait a player can have is whenever they're able to flex at least 5 to 7 legends and feel comfortable at a high level setting. It's 2023. We've got to stop one tricking. How many players have we seen when one specific legend is in meta and they abuse that legend to no end and they're like one of the top players in the world, and then when the meta changes, they suck and they're not good anymore? And the question a lot of people have been asking, is this what's TSM, you know, downfall is? I don't really think so. I think TSM is just fine. I think obviously they've got some small things to work out. I don't think there's a big fundamental issue with TSM, but nonetheless, it is worthy to know. It is kind of weird that a lot of times, you know, players, you know, I guess skill ratings change as the legend meta changes, because sometimes there's a lot of one-trick ponies out there. One team that I know is not, though, they're consistently doing pretty good, is NRG. I got to give it NRG. They're always pretty solid. Interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below about all these topics here today. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related. And until the next time, I will see you all later, Gators.